It says we're live.
Yeah, lies.
Yeah, no shit. Well, it may be live. We are not.
No kidding.
We're Memorex.
If you'd like to, yeah, okay, summer. If you'd like to keep the cold on, donate here, please. Also, we would like to thank King Harves for the magical Java bean juice of life, because honest to God, this convention,
Yes.
yeah, buy from them. So send us more coffee.
We need an instant version.
I just coffee.
Yeah. Before we get started on that, a piece of history left NAS Jacksonville on the 23rd. The last ASW variant, U.S. Navy P3, flew out on Thursday to the Boneyard in Tucson. And that ends 60 years of ASW service in the Navy. They are doing a challenge coin. Yeah, now with IV option for blanket for it. Yes. So I called this morning to get my name on the list for the challenge coin. And was talking to the young gentleman who was taking the order. And he said, there's a bunch of you old farts that want these coins. I said, yeah, it might be a reason. And I jokingly said, well, who's the oldest you've got? And he said, well, I had an ATR from 1962 call this morning and want one. So that jet had to be in his late 80s. But, you know, it's an end. We literally are dinosaurs. Let me know what you find out on that Winkle Red. Oh, by the way, the Padre, just shoot the toaster, get it over with now. We are back for versions of back.
We're mostly back. It was that 14-hour trip is just, my late 50s butt is just not up to 14-hour road trips anymore.
Which is why I flew.
Oh well, given the issues that the flying issues, I'm not sure that was an option either.
Out and back in one piece. I'll take that.
Yeah.
Other than the lack of coffee.
Well, I'm here to tell you that
Davis Montan, Padre.
I'm here to tell you that Jonna is using a metaphor that I find particularly apt. She's saying that Raconteur Press was the debutante at the ball of LibertyCon. And boy, howdy, was our dance card full. Yeah. I had people say, well, Law Dog doesn't like people. That's why he's zipping around. No, I was zipping from meeting to meeting. It was...
Yeah, well,
I had more meetings. Before we get into the fine details of the whole thing, I would like just a from the heart shout out to our authors. You folks are some of the best people. We really have the best authors. We really do. Y'all went above and beyond on the books, on the PR campaign. We wouldn't be here without y'all. So I'd just, God bless y'all, and y'all were fantastic. Just wow. I'm humbled. We really do have the best authors. So
yeah, I think a shout out to Brandy, Rich, Tish, and everybody that put in the time and effort behind the scenes at LibertyCon to make it a success. That does not include the hotel. And that does not include the city diner.
it's
Yeah, and the accent's out. Breathe.
Okay. All right then. Anywho.
Yeah, John, we're just thankful that y'all did not get badly hurt. John Van Stry was the only one that had an issue on the way back, and he got T-boned in Little Rock in traffic.
In apparently a driving rainstorm.
Yeah.
It was wow. The pictures John sent were just eye opening. Um, he and LaForce could have been hurt so much worse.
Yeah.
But got out with some bumps and bruises. Thanks be to God.
Yeah, and please go into the doctor and get checked.
Yeah. So, LibertyCon. Wow. Rock and Roll Press. I started counting about Friday, and between the four of us, we fielded about 43 pitches for anthologies. If you pitch,
And some of you were even sober.
I was sober for most of them, actually. I didn't have time to drink.
Yeah.
If you pitched an anthology at me and I didn't tell you to send an email and give you a card, send an email, because trust me, I've forgotten. We have, as the year progresses, we will start letting some of these out of the bag. But folks, y'all are going to be astounded. We have some really, really great anthologies coming down the pike. I'm flabbergasted. We really do. We palavered with some really interesting people. We've got some fantastic anthologies coming down the path. I'd like to give a shout out to Kelly Grayson. Kelly got to how do I put this? He got to bust his cherry on a no shit there it was panel. And for those of you who associate the pink gorilla suit story with me, Kelly will be forever associated with the homicidal ostrich story.
Yeah.
He wiped out Mike Massa, and Mike Massa and everybody else on the panel will tell that story for the rest of LibertyCon. It was fantastic.
Oh, Sean, congratulations.
Hey,
New daughter.
Well done.
Congratulations to you and your wife.
Well done, sir.
Yes.
Well done indeed.
Yeah, the panels were rather interesting. We had a few between us. And just a word of warning for those that might attend a convention where we are in our own panels. If we know you're a technical expert, prepare to get your ass drug up on stage.
Courtney, we had a 2-hour panel on the state of self-publishing.
We had a couple of 2-hour panels.
Well, yeah, most of them were 2-hour panels, and that was not right. But Courtney had another panel halfway through, so at the 1 hour mark, buggered off to Buffalo.
Another panel.
Yes, yeah, I said that. I think, didn't I?
Yeah, more or less.
My mind.
Continue.
My squirrels are not. My squirrels are busy sleeping on the dance floor. So Courtney got up, I got up, and I was following Courtney out, and James Young is over there doing the James Young thing. And I said, all right, you're up. They went, what? Come on, you're Courtney stunt double.
We also, in the 2-hour Guns of the Future panel,
Oh, Jesus.
had one gent that was unable to make it, so we drafted one guy.
Who did we draft?
Jamie, guy
Oh.
at far end.
Oh, okay.
And also Greg, whose last name I will not say, was sitting in the panel. And he happens to be an expert on another type of system, sighting system. So while he never got up on stage, he was pulled into the discussion.
It happens.
And it was funny because prior to the panel, we had a small discussion of what we wouldn't talk about during the panel.
Oh my God. Oh Lord. John Van Stryke came in and he was happy. He was happy. And it turns out he'd been at the a biker walks into a bar panel.
Yeah.
And somebody apparently brought some high grade hooch,
And they drank the entire
and
bottle.
and they killed a large bottle. And he was feeling absolutely nope. He walked on, sat down, said, "I'm drunk."
Uh,
Uh,
that was Hillbilly's fault.
yeah, I am drunk.
Why that does not surprise me.
Oh, I'm sorry, folks. I'm going to be a little nuts because, like I said, my squirrels are sleeping on the dance floor right now.
Yeah,
I am so tired.
we all of the panels, at least that I was involved with, I think went pretty well. Good comments, some interesting follow-ups, some of which went on for 2 days to some of the panels with various individuals. Okay. Apologize for the buffering, folks. That's not on our end this time.
For once, my eyes are crossed. So I'm not able to read the comments. So
Yeah.
y'all have that.
I can read the comments. Oh, I did one other comment. You're not supposed to hurt when you sleep.
Yeah, I know got that memo.
Man, I tell you, I was so friggin' tired. I managed to stay awake yesterday most of the day. Went to bed last night, and I swear I must not have moved because I tried to get up this morning and damn near couldn't. I hurt so bad in so many different places.
I was so tired. I was getting into micro sleeps on the way back.
Yeah.
I'd be talking to Rita and doze off and wake back up. But and the thing I hate about micro sleeps is you don't actually get any rest from them.
Yeah.
Poor Rita drove the entire 14 hours at 82 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So we get back and pick up the dogs a day early.
Yeah, I was chewing ibuprofen, as they say, Ranger candy, most of the weekend. Yeah, Vince agreed. Marriott's beds sucked too, and so did their pillows. I was doing mix and match on the pillows in the room, trying to find two that would actually let me go to sleep.
I was talking to Mona Lisa. She apparently always brings her own pillow.
Yeah.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to start doing that because I haven't found a pillow at a hotel yet.
Yeah.
That Rita was the belle of the ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
Apparently, and this is mind blowing to me. Apparently, I'm hard to talk to. I don't know if that they can't catch me or I was walking stabby. But everybody knows Rita. Everybody knows herself.
Yeah.
And she nailed us a couple of really really nice authors that she charmingly browbeat into giving us stories.
Yeah. Speaking of Rick and Mona Lisa, I'd like to thank them for the one good meal that I had this week.
No kidding.
Although I still think mine's better.
Oh, yours is definitely better. They found, what was the name of that place?
Tupelo Honey.
Tupelo Honey. Rick and Mona Lisa found a place in Chattanooga called Tupelo Honey. And we had 2 meals there. It was that good. It was that good. Okay. All right. So, where I'm allowed to let everybody know that I did a Writer Dojo panel.
Yeah.
A Writer Dojo episode, and it was supposed to be 30 minutes. It turned into an hour and 15, and about halfway through it, Jonna and Courtney were up being the peanut gallery. And about halfway through it, one of the two asked me a question. I had no. All I do is stand out front and look pretty. So I tag team Courtney in.
Tom, it's as good as Frothy Monkey. Yes.
What's that?
Tom was asking how good was it as good as a Frothy Monkey?
Tupelo Honey.
Yeah.
I've never got any coffee there. I miss Frothy Monkey for the coffee. I
Yeah.
don't miss it for the coffee and the conversation. I don't miss it for the food. This was southern inspired.
Yeah.
The shrimp and grits they're not as, I will say, they're not as good as Jim's, but the shrimp and grits are just fantastic.
Not nearly enough shrimp.
Well, no, but it's Chattanooga, and the Belgian waffles are not half bad.
Yeah.
Um,
I'd like to also give a shout out to Becky since she's on here because she helped me sell books. And
Becky went above and beyond. She
I
really
managed to make it from Z list to maybe Y list author thanks to the amount of books that I sold, mostly because of her.
Of the 3 Raconteur Press book signings we had, I got to one of them, and we were right outside the door where people were coming out for the from the brunch, from the brunch, and the first 10 minutes, it was flat nut to butt. We sold. We were just money flying one way, books flying the other, and me trying to get names right when I was autographing the books.
David Bach did pretty well too
Good.
because he had a bunch of the Raconteur Press books.
Outstanding.
And he was grabbing people. You're in the book. Sit down and sign it. I was in the middle of sit down, sit up, and sign it. Okay, fine.
And I was I was doing the usual thing. You know, it's like somebody bring me a book to sign, and it's like you realize that another author's here, and they go, "What?" I go, "Kelly," and throw a pin at him.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of throwing stuff, apparently I started a new legend at cons because we had the introduction to Raconteur Press, and I was so hungover. That was the one time I got drunk, was the night before, and I don't remember which day it was. Sunday. So Saturday night I got stalkered.
Yep.
I got stalkered to the point that Rita was giggling at me. I was drunk, so I was hungover, and the panel started at 10 a.m., which is a whole nother rant. Why the hell, if you're a con dedicated to authors, why the hell would you have any panels before 11 a.m.? Anywho, beside the point. So 10:30, I had run out of things to say. So I said, are there any questions? And some guy, I think it was one of ours, but I'm still kind of foggy, on the front row raised his hand. I've got a question. And my squirrels grabbed a duck from the proof we had our ducks in a row. The ladies had proof we have a duck, we had a row of ducks. So the squirrels, it wasn't me, it was the squirrels, grabbed a duck and said, "You, sir, get a duck." Wham! At any time anybody asked a question, I threw a duck at them.
Appropriate. There were a number of sidebars, some of which went on for a long time, others that went over days. And Bain gives out books, Raconteur Press gives out ducks. And
they're high-speed ducks,
well,
too.
duck you.
The only time I did not fast pitch a duck at somebody was they were surrounded by possible collateral damage.
Yeah.
And I'd run off the stage and hoik a duck at them.
But the sidebars amongst the indie folks was rather interesting. All right, John. Yeah. He nailed you on that one.
What's that?
You were always moving at high speed.
The number of meetings, it's like,
Yeah.
oh. Now I understand now the when I used to go, bloody hell. Before, when I was just there to have fun, I couldn't understand why the people I wanted to talk to were always going by at high speed, or I couldn't find them. Now I understand.
Yeah. So, yeah, he was a foul pitchman in another life. Yeah, Kermit.
No puns. It's way too early in the morning for puns. It really is.
And you're not awake enough to understand them anyway. The U list to the N list. Whatever works. But the thing is, the group of us, and I will use that term loosely, that are indies, are starting to cooperate.
Which is something I've been hitting on for At least a year.
First year that I went, 2016, if you were indie, most people might scrape you off the bottom of the shoe, depending on how bad you stunk. And now here we are, basically 8 years later, and as a group, we are becoming more and more active, and we're having success. Uh, Hillbilly and Three Ravens being one example, Raconteur being the other. Some of us that are singles, like myself, like I said, Y list author, I'll take it.
Actually, I think you're up to K or L by now.
Yeah.
You've actually sold some books.
Yeah.
I forget where having sold some books falls on the.
I don't remember. One of these days I'll go
Correa
back and
list.
look. Yeah. But the ability to talk to people, and I got my third mass market, published author credit this year with Ross 248, which was an interesting panel. If you ever have Dan Hoyt and Marshall on the panel, you got to stomp on them, because between the two of them, they will talk and talk.
That's
and
a
talk,
lot of
and
stomping.
talk, and
That's a
talk.
lot of stomping.
Yeah. It got to the point that Les finally, because about 5 times he tried to interrupt to get him so we could move to the next author. And Dan would shut up and Marshall would start. And finally, Les leaned on the podium and went, "I'm sorry, but I have to moderate now. So we're going to move on."
Oh.
But it was great to see Stephanie Osborne. She's still in the little cart, but she's doing much better. And it was good to see her out and about. And her story was very good. And Rob Hampson was also in it. And we had AIs. So when I originally got the world that we were doing the story in, I'm going, oh boy, AI, I know something. Shit, Rob Hampson's in here. Okay, not going there.
On a side note, I never really understood the concept of a relaxicon or a nauticon.
Yeah, now you do.
I do now.
Yeah.
Well,
there are some plans afoot that we will talk about much later, like a month or so out.
oh my Lord have mercy, we have made so. I don't even remember. I don't remember how many plans we've made. I've lost track.
Well, those are just the ones that you know about.
I'd like to, folks. I'm serious. The plotting that we've got afoot. We're going to need authors. Rita snaffled us several authors. We're going to need a lot more. In the coming months, I'm pretty sure y'all are going to be shocked. I'm still trying to process some of the stuff we've got coming down the pike. It's going to be interesting, folks.
I now owe people 4 short stories.
Oh,
Don't look at me in that tone of voice.
you owe me so many more than 4. You owe me so many more than 4. Also,
I have a book to finish
okay,
that's overdue.
in between, you can write short stories.
And everybody's going, where the hell's the book?
So Jonna was running around showing people her PubShare account, which anyway, Jonna was running around showing people her PubShare account where they could download a dashboard and a story they were in. If you're not in the story, if you're not, you can't do this. But if you're one of the authors, you have a dashboard on PubShare that will show how many of that book sold, how many of every book you're in sold, how much money total is coming for those books or that book, how much your share is. And this was blowing minds left, right, and center. This was a shock to a lot of people. So
Well, they were even more shocked that it was to that day,
Yeah.
that morning. The only thing that's not in there is the Kindle Reads thing, but we get that every 2 months, and then it's an equal share among all authors. So that's not included. So it's actually a little bit more.
so I was telling people, and people come to me ask me about it. And I was telling people, yeah, you have, just remember that this is the data that we've gotten from Amazon. We will accurately reflect the data that we get from Amazon. If they give us bogus data, we can't do anything about it. But we are upfront and transparent with the data we get. So we will be doing a presentation at some, not all,
We don't know yet.
some future cons, introducing PubShare to people, because this is going to be a game changer. This is a game changer.
Well, part of it too is that it's breaking the cycle of you get this much money up front, and that's it. And maybe it'll earn out. But the thing it does is like it's zero up front, but we pay you forever.
Larry and Steve Diamond are referring to it as
Yeah.
profit sharing for authors.
Profit sharing for authors.
Well,
And-
you remember I started that with
You did.
when I did Cal Exit,
Mm-hmm.
because every month I would publish. I
Yeah.
was actually screenshotting the Amazon for the month.
Yes, you
You
did.
mean,
So
Jim, you were being ethical? What an idea.
Goodness. Jim Curtis being ethical.
But what I did was pay people, based on that quarter's sales. And the reason that I cut it off at a year is to make up the back half of the cost of the editor, the cover, and the things like that. Twisted Tropes. Folks are going to get over $100 at the end of the month out of Twisted Tropes, which, by the way, we need 6 more reviews to get to the 50 reviews. So if you bothered to buy it, give us a review. But I did not want to screw people. I wanted people to get an honest opinion, honest impression, and an honest amount of money for their work. And to me, that was more important per se than getting my chunk of the money out up front. Now, some people will tell you that, well, once I make my money back, then I'll give you whatever we get.
That's no.
Yeah.
No.
So that's why mine are for a year. You get your rights back. You can do what you want. And, as we said back then and still say today, go ahead and republish it after that year. Put a collection together. Throw it up for 99 cents. Hell, if you don't make the anthology, throw it up for 99 cents. I told people that in the Hindi publishing, and everybody's going, huh? What? You can do that? Hell yes.
I
I did not make the second, It Came from a Trailer Park story. So I took the story I'd written, threw it up for 99 cents, and I made about $300 off of it so far.
I don't. The con is one big bar, but I think I mentioned, and I just lost what I was going to say.
You mentioned quite a few things.
Anyway, it was something I told Larry and Steve. I think I told them during Writer Dojo. I forget. Anyway, it being LibertyCon, some folks were a little reticent because of the PayPal sale, getting paid through PayPal. And I reassure a lot of people, if you don't use PayPal, and it's perfectly okay, PubShare will send you a paper check every quarter.
Yeah.
If you choose to receive your royalties through PayPal, you'll get it at the beginning of the month. If you want a paper check, they'll send you a paper check every 3 months. So,
one other thing. If you're a new author, well, not one thing, 3 things that you need to do. One is get a Square account. where you can sell your books to people that have a credit card and don't have cash. Yes, it's by calendar quarter, Wally.
I don't use a paper check, so I don't know if it's calendar or otherwise. But
It's calendar. I do. Because I don't have PayPal. We'll never have PayPal. I also send paper checks. Sorry, Becky. I threw Becky to the wolves because she was helping me. And apparently I didn't fix everything in it.
Oh,
Yeah, my bad. The second thing is get an accountant or get somebody to look at your money. The one thing you do not want to have is the following April a bill for $7,000 when you got $1,000 in your PayPal in your account. Learn from the mistakes that we've made and that other people have made. You don't have to do that. A lawyer is nice to have. John's got 4 or 5 lawyers. His is a slightly different situation. When you, and I'm saying when for a reason, when you get a world that you created that gets popular, you might want to think about having an IP lawyer look at any contracts. The one thing you never want to do is give up your rights to that IP.
for any reason.
Yeah. You know, if somebody wants your IP, charge them money. And make it,
and lease it.
and lease it. Make it a lease, not a buy. Filing quarterly taxes sucks, but it's better than a huge bill on April 15th. You're right.
Kidding.
Speaking of which, friggin' quarterlies are due at the end of the month. Son of a.
Anyway, so yeah, like John has said, we were the belle of the ball, and good Lord, was our dance card full.
Many pink gorilla toss toys for the panel.
Apparently, if Chris Smith could have found glow sticks, he was going to sit in the audience and throw glow sticks at me. Fortunately, he couldn't find any in Chattanooga.
I'm surprised. All he needed to do was ask the people that had trucks in the parking lot. I'm sure he could have found glow sticks. Probably the large economy-sized ones.
So
I know damn well Brian had some in his truck.
oh yeah, well, Brian's got a little bit of everything in that truck.
Yeah.
So Rider Dojo, and then there's going to be another Rider Dojo later on, where Larry and Steve will be interviewing the ladies of Raconteur Press, Jonna, Courtney, Rita, and Sarah.
Oh, speaking of which, and I forgot about this, Blasters and Blades. Joel Presby, myself, Josh, JR did a thing on writing a believable space navy. And it was supposed to get cut down to a half an hour. And he put up the entire hour and a half. I think actually an hour and 33 minutes. So if you're interested in how to write a space navy, Blasters and Blades, I think it's episode 262, or you can go over to my blog and look for the link. I put it up yesterday. Yeah, road flares would also work, Kermit. Of course, you know, you might need to throw one at Ian to wake him up in the middle of the.
What? What?
Kermit says if you're raiding parking lot trucks, there's likely to be road flares not close to it. Well, I said, well, you can throw them at Ian too. You go, huh? What? Rick, it wasn't so much he couldn't cut good content. He said because it was so damn funny with us going back and forth.
Oh, I wiped. I was sleepy, and had one gin and tonic, so I was here, but considerably less R-rated. And I wiped Steve and Larry out a couple of times.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to talk to Larry and Bridget that much. Maybe 10 minutes Thursday night. And Liberty Con is really a 2.5 day con. It's now in 4.5 days because people are showing up on Thursday and not leaving until Monday.
Rita and I have decided that that's going to be our pattern from now on.
Yeah.
Is we'll roll into the con on Thursday.
Yeah.
And then roll out on Monday.
Yeah, this weekend was an interesting one with the weather and other issues. When I got to the airport at 5 o'clock Monday morning, there were 2 flights going out, one on American and one on Delta. And the line for coffee was 30 friggin' people long, and one little girl who was up there trying to make the coffees. Not as bad as the typical Starbucks, half calf, decaf, whatever the hell, lavender something or other crap. But there were some strange orders. So I never got to get to the front of the line and get coffee. So I grumped down to the gate. I'm sitting here and I'm listening to the Delta gate, which was across the way. They were offering $800 at 6 o'clock in the morning for people to change flights. And I went,
I might have taken that.
It was Atlanta.
Oh.
That's the reason I fly direct wherever possible on early flights for a reason.
I thought you did fly direct. Did you not fly direct?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
That's why I was there at 6 o'clock in the morning because the direct flight is 6 o'clock in the morning.
Was it that way last time
Yeah.
when I flew it?
No, you didn't fly direct.
Yeah, I did. The only times I've flown to Chattanooga was.
Oh, you took the afternoon flight.
Okay.
Which I never do. 4 flights through Denver, all connected. Yeah, Padre, that crap happens too. Yeah, Becky, yours was the 2:30 in the afternoon. That's the one you took. I traveled for so many years, so much for so many years that I will get up and take the first flight. Because if I take the last flight, inevitably, I'm not going to get there when I'm supposed to. I have done that a number of years ago out of LA going to Sydney for a meeting. And I always try to go a day early just to be sure. However, the one flight canceled. So we were all pushed to the next day.
Oh.
Which left at 10:30 at night, arrived in Sydney at 6:30 in the morning. And there were 2 airplanes, there were 2 crews, and 2 entire sets of passengers, 2 747s, 10 minutes apart, going to Sydney. So we land at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I had to go from the airport to the hotel, check in, and immediately go to the meeting. So I had no sleep in about 20 hours. And walked into the meeting, and I was late, so I was standing up in the back because it was full. And apparently I went to sleep standing up in the back of the meeting.
I have no idea what that's like. I really don't.
Oh, nice, Greg. I'm glad somebody got lucky.
Lucky in what way?
He made
Am
the
I
last
missing
flight out
something?
of Chattanooga, last flight out of Dallas. If that would have been me, I would have made the last flight out of Chattanooga and missed a connection in Dallas and been stuck. Yeah, Rick, I learned to sleep standing up in boot camp, but I had kind of gotten out of the habit, Plus, I was a little bit older when I had to do that.
Oh.
Yeah, you passed out 5 minutes ago mid-sentence.
You serious?
Yeah.
So our next big road trip
Imaginarium.
is going to be Imaginarium in Louisville. Is it Louisville or Louisville?
Louisville.
Louisville. Be in Louisville in 3 weeks.
Yep.
I might have recovered by then.
Yeah.
I'm not going to promise anything, but I might have recovered by then.
And then we have something in South Texas in August.
And something else in mid Texas in September. Pecan.
Oh, duh.
So we need, I'm going to remind everybody that we have 1 metric butt ton of anthologies coming down the pike. We need authors. Do not be scared of sending us stories. As we announce them, tell your friends. We've got some really good anthologies with some really good folks coming down the trail, and our authors need to be in on this, and we need to get new ones. If you have authors that don't know about us, tell them about us. If you have people that want to be authors, tell them about us. We will happily break in the newbies and make money and get paid. And have
DA
fun.
will be down in San Antonio. And
More details on that as
Yeah.
things come along.
Padre, if you got stuck in Baltimore for a week, how many Purple Hearts did y'all get out of that stay? There will be the Pecan event in September.
And where most cons have a
But that-
Toastmaster, where most cons have a Toastmaster, Pecan's going to have a Waffle Master.
Yeah.
And Pecan's first inaugural Waffle Master will be Kelly Grayson.
Yeah.
And I'm here to tell you, if you don't know Kelly, bloody hell, why can't I speak? If you don't know Kelly, you need to. He's funny as hell.
Yeah, and he just put up another little short story. They call me Tully, which is funny as hell. Winkle Red, we'll take all the help we can get.
This was a Liberty Con where I learned things.
August the 19th, Greg.
I totally forgot what I was going to talk about.
This is the con where you've learned things.
I have. I did not realize that Tully was as famous as he is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kelly is more infamous, but for other things. I know way too much about Tully. There's a reason he brings me alcohol.
I did not realize that George
Bribery is a thing.
House Tully in Game of Thrones was named after Tully. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Okay.
If Kelly was waxing poetic about some of his high school exploits, Becky, I've heard those stories.
At least he was waxed about exploits and not getting waxed.
Waxing you up to slide you right along. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, he will forever be associated with the homicidal ostrich as far as Mike Mass is concerned.
So he's got the ostrich and you've got the gorilla.
The pink gorilla.
Thankfully, I don't have any stories like that.
That you've told us.
Oh, Sean is on a roll.
Some things have a statute of limitations.
I still got to go to work today.
Yeah, Jesse, that's true. Tully, Jonna, and Ben Yallo talking old school fandom.
Oh, Ben Yallo was a delight as always.
Yeah.
If you have not had the opportunity to sit down and talk to Ben Yallo, you really need to. When they say every old man is a library, Ben Yallo is the Library of Alexandria. He knows the ins and outs of science fiction fandom. He was there. He watched it. Sit down and talk to Ben Yallo. He is a delightful person with some really sneaky stories.
Oh, yeah. It's sly, very dry sense of humor.
Sneaky.
No, the statutes of limitations on a number of things are still active. Thank you very much. As Chuck and I were discussing prior to the panel the other night, He had looked over at one point. What the hell are you two talking about? Never mind.
Moving on.
And Larry dumped moderation of that panel on me.
I saw that coming from a while, from way back. I'm
How
not
come
sure.
I get stuck friggin' moderating all these damn panels?
I'm the one with a buildup of lactic acid.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I will never moderate a panel. No, I am not good moderator material. But I'm not so sure about these 2-hour panels. LibertyCon had a crap ton of 2-hour panels.
We
this
had
time.
75 people in the friggin' gun panel. We filled the entire room. We had 38 in the indie publishing panel. The 7th year we've given it. We had published authors in there.
I was sober for the No Shit There I Was panel, which has never happened before. I do not like that, being sober during a No Shit panel, because from 7 to 9 I was in the Guns of the Future panel, and at 9 to 11 I was in the same room.
Yeah.
I had enough time to bolt, hit the Kazi, and not enough time to grab a martini on the way back.
Thank you for the kind words, Brian. I guess it's because I'm an asshole. I'll tell people to shut up. Hey, if I can get Dave Weber to shut up, and I can get Sarah to shut up.
Yes.
Oh,
No, I'm not so sure about these 2-hour panels. I need something longer than a potty break.
well, the scheduling needs to be a little bit better.
Yeah.
We had 2 conventions going. So it was
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of the panels, I mean, realistically, the guns panel was a good 2 hours. We did not start repeating things. Oh, there was one guy.
Mike made me tell 3 stories at the No Shit panel. Everybody else told 2. I had to tell 3.
Good. Kermit, I actually moderated Dave, Sarah, and Dave Caraccio at TallCon and got 3 of the 4 questions in.
God bless. I was on one panel. I forget which one it was. And a gentleman in the front row, one of our authors, I'm pretty sure. Things kind of foggy back here. Actually had some bamboo rum. I did not realize it was rum. I think it was a No Shit panel. And it's like, God bless you. Phil, you pour I honestly, God, I did not realize it was rum, and I killed that was good stuff. I need to find out specs this bamboo.
Yeah. Some of the more private parties and discussions were also rather interesting as the nights went on. And some people were making the 531 rule and some weren't. For those that may not know, the 531 rule is 5 hours of sleep, 3 meals, and at least 1 shower a day.
Yeah, I thought it was 521.
Well, 521, 531. Some people, and this is not a joke, folks. Some people you actually need to make sure that they eat, make sure that they hydrate at cons. I'm not going to say specifically who it is, but there is.
Why don't you just point at me next time?
I'm not talking about you because you're not that bad.
There
is one gentleman who's rather well known that actually they have a care and feeding for him because he will get so wrapped up in what he's doing, he'll forget to drink, forget to eat, and then pass out.
I dehydrated.
Yeah, which is not a good thing.
I discovered something, this melon flavored drink that's IV in a bottle.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with that stuff.
Yeah, Tom. More than one spouse following a rider around at LibertyCon. Make sure you go there. You sit, eat. Yeah. Yeah, especially if you have blood sugar issues. Yeah. Yeah, Vince. Dina was kicking your butt quite a few times. Like the bride and groom at a wedding. Yes.
I got up to the con suite once.
Yeah.
It was a good con suite this year. It
Yeah.
really was. I got there once.
Yeah, they changed it up. I have to say a personal thanks because I'm staff. I was right next door to the con suite, but far enough that the noise didn't bother me. And Scott, bless him,
Yeah.
Scott Richardson from Tolcon was working up there, and knew Courtney and I were working hard. So he brought us coffee every morning at 8 a.m. So we didn't have to hurt people to get any. So special thanks to Scott for keeping people safe. So,
Well, if you'd come down to breakfast in the morning, you could have had coffee.
you didn't want to see me before coffee. And the one time I came down for breakfast, what happened? I didn't even get to eat. I had somebody in my face talking to me.
Sorry. I guess I'm just grumpy enough that they leave me the hell alone.
No, the con suite was fantastic. It really was. It was in a good sized room.
Yeah.
And the food was fantastic. I got up there once. I
And,
needed to hit there more than once, but
and Alma Boykin volunteered multiple hours up there when she wasn't on panels. And would like to thank her, too, for the research she did on Ingram Spark for our publishing panel. That was very good information. And yes, the cost of publishing is going up regardless of who you use. There was one of the interesting comments, I guess, that came out of that was one of the people in the audience talking about how light books were out of Denmark.
what?
Yeah.
I'm not parsing it since. What?
The lightness of the physical novels coming out of Denmark,
That's what I thought you said.
because they use very thin paper over there
Oh.
compared to what you get in America. So little things like that pop up. And yes, if you are an author and you have books up on Amazon, go in and check them. Check them to date. Make sure they still have a category. Make sure that you still have all the territorial rights. Make sure that you're not losing money if they are going to an external distribution. Three things. Cost of paper has gone up, Richard, you're right. And not quite that bad, Richard, but it's definitely a thinner paper than what we use here in the U.S. Oh, interesting, Cedar. I'm glad to hear that.
Oh, good. I don't remember if I've said this on this live stream, but I really want to throw out thank yous to LibertyCon. LibertyCon was the first con I ever went to, and
That you got drug kicking and screaming to.
the first con I ever went to, and LibertyCon will always remain my my home con. It is well run, fantastically run. Hotel issues aside, which the con had no control over.
Again, yeah.
And I said, hotel issues aside, which Brandy and the con have no control over, folks. The con itself is a model for what con should be.
Yep.
It really is. Brandy and Vaughn and everybody, Rich, go above and beyond. And it is, as long as I get a ticket, I will attend LibertyCon. Folks. Racketer Press will have home cons, or a home con, or multiple home cons. LibertyCon will always be mine. It's period.
And some people were asking questions about Fool's Con. Fool's Con will remain an invitation only. For one reason only. We do not want it to get out of control, A. And B, it's a relaxicon. There will never be panels. There will be joke panels, but there will never be panels. There will never be sales. If you want to give stuff away, fine. But it's a chance to get together, sit down, and talk. That's all.
Like I said, and the issues with the hotel are, when it comes down to brass tacks, the issues of the hotel are nothing. But LibertyCon,
Most of us have stayed worse.
LibertyCon could be held in an empty parking lot, and I'd go.
Yeah.
It's just that good of a. I've been to several other cons, LTUE and
Yeah.
FinCon and TallCon, and they've all been nice little cons. But LibertyCon's mine. That will always be my home con.
Brennan, y'all drive safe. Let us know when you get home. And it was great to finally see the pup.
They had a dog.
Yeah, they brought the dog with them. They couldn't bring it in the hotel, though.
I miss so much stuff running.
Good sized husky.
I miss so much stuff running from meeting to meeting.
Well, you may say that, John. I hate Marriott with a friggin' passion, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, but I know what the other ones around there cost, so I'll take it.
Yeah, understood.
Yeah, the
Padre, I didn't make my first con until 2016, so don't feel
mine
bad.
was 2017.
Yeah.
Jim went to LibertyCon and told me how good it was.
Yeah.
And he and Peter and Dorothy leaned on me until I went, I think, to 2017 LibertyCon.
Leaned on you.
Mm-hmm.
That's one word for kicking your ass.
And I fell in love with it. I really did. And then I went to LTU. It's like, it was. I was expecting LibertyCon West.
Yeah.
But no.
And then they took a hard left turn.
I love LibertyCon. It is the best people, best con, just fantastic.
There is something starting up out in Utah.
Writer's Cantina.
It's called Writer's Cantina. And this year it's a 1-day con in July, which sadly I was planning on making, and I can't do back-to-back 2 weeks in a row.
No.
Thank you, Richard. Nearest location for a pop-up or for a camper is about 15 miles. Yeah. Well, yeah, Kermit, that's a different kind of relaxicon up in Colorado.
I never went to that one.
Yeah, you did. We do every year.
Oh, yes. Squirrels sleeping. Folks tend to have these little mental voices. Mine are all squirrels snoring right now.
Yeah, Tom, it's called Writer's Cantina. Dave Butler and a few other folks are putting it on. And right now it's a 1-day event out of Salt Lake City. However, that may grow in the coming years.
And Rita has fallen in love with it as much as I have, which really makes me happy.
So, there are options out there, folks. Not all of them are good. Thanks, Ben. Wish you could have made it. Yeah. Ian's blood sugar is not the issue. It's his, I think it's more his food and coffee intakes.
14 hours on the road. That and getting 3 hours of sleep a night this weekend.
Yeah, Vance Larry is going and participating. We are a death sentence in 5 system. Yeah. But the thing is, folks, we appreciate y'all in so many ways. We don't get a chance to say it often. We don't get a chance to meet with y'all as much as we'd like to. And the other thing you have to understand is most writers are extreme introverts. Yeah. Some of us can extrovert because we have to.
Yeah, but it costs energy to extrovert.
Yeah.
People and costs energy.
And the problem is that you're cramming a year's worth of pent up questions, comments, and everything else into 2.5 days. You're a trained extrovert, Becky. You don't count anyway, because you got a PhD in that crap. But the thing is, you're trying to get everything done. We're trying to get everything done. We're trying to catch up with people that we want to talk to. So there's always that churn. And that's not saying that that's necessarily a bad thing. But what it does is it makes it hard for us to spend the time we want to spend with the folks that we really enjoy being with. Yeah, it like to attempt to resuscitate Ian squirrels. A couple of road flares might at least wake them up. Uh,
I have peopled so much.
Yeah.
And I've got to go sit at the raisin farm tonight.
yeah, Wally, you're off the E end of the spectrum. ENFP. Oh God, Myers Briggs. That's Myers Briggs. Oh my God.
It's fun to do.
It's fun to do, but it doesn't mean jack shit. Oh, that's a whole.
Very, very little actually means jack shit when you get down to brass tacks.
Yeah. Yeah, we're definitely planning on Writers Cantina next year, one way or the other.
Well, the way the Raconteur Press is going, I somewhat innocently,
Yeah.
I plotted out a list of cons I wanted to go to that I thought would handle Raconteur Press's needs for a while. I was sadly mistaken. So I'm thinking next year we'll be doing several more cons than I had planned on doing. But LibertyCon, as long as I can get a ticket, as long as I can get tickets for Beat Rita, we will be going to LibertyCon next year because it's my home con.
Yeah, Ag, it's a pigeonholing system for managers, and it's a fad. It rolls in and out. It's one of those. Don't get me started on that. I often thought for a long time about writing a paper of, on the constant cycle of the next great thing, and how many times that was literally nothing more than an OODA loop with a change of name and a change of pieces and parts and moving from B from up to A and A down to C and Z up to D, that kind of crap. And none of it works. Yeah. Dan, it depends on which set of definitions used for character personalities because those change. Yeah, deck chairs on the Titanic. And on that note,
bugger, I was going to put some. I need to wash some stuff. I need to eat first. I haven't eaten anything yet.
Yeah. The other thing is talking about the Titanic disaster, and it is a disaster. Don't believe everything you hear in the media, and wait until, and it may be a year, it may be 18 months, until the NTSB or the maritime people do the investigation. Right now, all we're seeing is a bunch of, well, we're pretty sure this happened. We're pretty sure that happened. Pretty sure is not the same as knowing. There is other information available that is not in the public domain. So take everything you hear about the Titanic disaster with a grain of salt. And on that note, we've wasted another hour of your time, folks. We appreciate your listening. We apologize for the disconnected things today.
What?
Do you have any other comments you would like to make?
Y'all be safe. I'm going to get some coffee and something to eat.
Remember, folks, don't sweat the petty stuff. Don't pet the sweaty stuff.
Y'all be safe.
And we'll see you later. Bye-bye.